Hey everyone, and welcome back to Computer Science Made Easy. Today, we are diving into a brand new programming language that is making some serious waves, especially in the world of AI. It's called Mojo. So if you've ever written some Python and just wished it were faster, well, this explainer is definitely for you. Let's get into it. Today, we're jumping into a really big topic, one that's a huge deal in programming right now. We're talking about a challenge that affects pretty much everyone, whether you're building the next big AI or designing a video game. So, what's this big challenge? Well, it's all about the massive divide between programming for your computer's main brain, the CPU, and its superpowered graphics engine, the GPU, the workhorse. And look, if you really want to get why building top-tier AI is so tough, you've got to understand this split. And you've probably wondered about this, right? I mean, why can't we just use Python for everything? Seriously, it's everywhere, it's so easy to pick up, the code is clean, the community is huge, it feels like it should be the ultimate language. But then, bam, the second you need some serious, high-octane speed for something like AI, you just slam into a brick wall. And that's the problem we're unpacking today. All right, so let's get right into it. The great programming divide. What's at the heart of it? Well, it's this brutal trade-off that developers have faced forever. You can either have simplicity, something that's easy to prototype with, or you can have raw, down-to-the-metal speed. And for the longest time, you couldn't have both. It was always one or the other. And this really breaks it down for us. On the one hand, you've got your CPU programming. Think Python. It's awesome for getting your ideas down quickly, for building prototypes, and for handling things one step at a time. Super intuitive. But then, on the other side, you have the GPU world, and to play there, you've got to speak a totally different language, usually something hardcore like C++ with NVIDIA's CUDA. That whole world is built for one thing: insane, mind-blowing performance. We're talking about running thousands of calculations all at the same time. But the catch? It's way, way more complex. So you might be thinking, okay, so what? What's the big deal? Well, having these two separate programming worlds, it's not just an academic problem. It creates some seriously expensive and super frustrating headaches in the real world, especially for AI teams, because they're the ones who are constantly bouncing between needing that quick prototyping and that production level speed. All right, first up, let's talk about something called the two-language tax. And yeah, it's as painful as it sounds. Imagine this. You come up with a brilliant idea, and you write it out in Python because it's fast and easy. Your model works, it's amazing. But now, to actually get it into a real product, you have to throw all that Python code away and rewrite the entire thing from scratch in C++. You're literally doing the same work twice. It's a huge waste of time and money. Even worse, it splits your team right down the middle. You end up with the researchers who live in Python and the engineers who live in C++, and they can barely talk to each other, let alone work on the whole system. And the pain doesn't stop there. The next big problem is vendor lock-in. This is a huge one. When you go all in on a framework like CUDA, you're not just writing code for a generic GPU. Nope, you are writing code specifically for an NVIDIA GPU. So what happens when AMD or some other company comes out with a faster, cheaper chip? Well, too bad for you, you're stuck. You can't just switch over. You'd have to rewrite everything again. Your code literally becomes a hostage to the decisions of one hardware company. It's not a great place to be. So let's be clear about why Python, as much as we all love it, just can't keep up. It hits a performance wall, and it hits it hard. We're talking up to 1,000 times too slow for real-world AI. And a huge reason for this is something you might have heard of, the infamous GIL, or Global Interpreter Lock. Basically, the GIL means that even if you have a fancy multi-core CPU, Python can only really do one thing at a time. It completely blocks true parallelism. The only way around it is to drop down into these complicated C extensions, which, kind of defeats the whole point of using Python for its simplicity in the first place. Okay, so things sound a bit bleak, right? The two-language tax, vendor lock-in, Python hitting a wall. But this is where the story gets really interesting. What if you didn't have to make that choice? What if you could escape this trap? Well, a new language has come onto the scene, and it was built from the ground up to solve these exact problems. It's called Mojo, and its mission? To unify these two worlds. And this right here, this is the mission statement. It's a direct shot at every single problem we've talked about. One language, any hardware, Pythonic syntax, systems-level performance. The goal is simple to say, but incredibly ambitious. Give us all one language that feels like Python, runs like C++, and works everywhere. Now, here's a really smart move they made. Mojo isn't trying to kill Python, not at all. It's designed to be a strict superset of Python. Think of it like Python++. What this means is that all your existing Python code is already valid Mojo code. So for the millions of us who already know and love Python, it's not about learning something totally new. It's about adding superpowers to what we already know. It's the perfect next step when you finally hit that performance wall. Okay, that's a huge promise, right? A language that does it all. So the big question is, how? How does Mojo actually do this? Let's peel back the layers and look at the tech that lets it bridge that huge CPU-GPU divide. This chart really lays out the whole paradigm shift. The old way? You've got separate languages for the host, your CPU, and the device, your GPU. With the Mojo way, it's all one unified language. The old way, your code is chained to one hardware vendor, like NVIDIA. The Mojo way, it's designed to be hardware agnostic, running on NVIDIA, AMD, you name it. And the old way of speeding up Python with messy C extensions? Gone. Mojo has native interoperability with the whole Python ecosystem. This isn't just a small change, it's a completely new way of thinking. So how did they build something so ambitious? Well, the creators of Mojo were super smart about it. They didn't just start from scratch and try to reinvent everything. Instead, they looked at the giants, the most successful, battle-tested programming languages out there, and they carefully picked and chose the best ideas from each one. And you can really see this best of all worlds philosophy here. From Python, it obviously takes that easy-to-learn, beautiful syntax. From C++, it grabs that low-level power, that direct hardware control. But it tries to fix the stuff we all hate, like terrible error messages and slow compiles. From Rust, it borrows some amazing ideas about memory safety, to stop those dreaded seg faults, but makes it easier to learn. And from newer languages like Zig, it pulls in really advanced stuff like compile-time metaprogramming. It's like they built a dream team of language features. Okay, so that's the tech, that's the design philosophy. But let's bring it back down to earth. What does this all mean for you, sitting at your keyboard trying to build something cool? How does this actually change your day-to-day life as a developer? Well, the community has a pretty awesome way of putting it. This quote, "Mojo gives me the feeling of superpowers." I love this because it gets to the heart of it. This isn't just about a 10% speed boost. It's about fundamentally changing what one person can achieve. It's about giving you, a single developer, the ability to do things that used to take an entire team of specialized engineers. So what are these superpowers exactly? Well, for starters, you can write code that goes all the way from the top of the stack to the bottom. High-level logic and low-level GPU programming all in one file. You get that bare metal performance on both CPUs and GPUs. You get to write code that's memory safe without worrying about those classic C++ foot guns that crash your program in the middle of the night. And maybe, most importantly, you're future-proofing your skills for a world where we're going to see all kinds of new and different hardware. Oh, and you can still use all your favorite Python libraries, no problem. And we're not just talking theory here. Let's put a number on it. Early tests show Mojo running over 12 times faster than Python. And get this, that's without even trying. That's before you even start doing any serious, hardcore optimizations. A performance jump like that, it doesn't just make your code faster, it changes the kinds of problems you can even think about solving. So, that's the story of the great CPU-GPU divide and one really exciting attempt to bridge it. But now, I want to turn it over to you. I've got a couple of questions. First, do you think a unified language like Mojo could genuinely change how you tackle your computer science projects? And second, from your experience, what's the single biggest challenge you've faced when trying to turn a high-level idea into high-performance code? Really think about those and drop your answers down in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious to hear what you think, and I'd love to get a good conversation started. All right, that's everything we have for today's Explainer. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, if you learned something new today, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button for more explainers like this. Give this a like and, share it with a friend or a classmate who's also stuck wrestling with this whole two-language problem. We'll catch you on the next one.